let's just start with the daily, and of course big brother BTC. Stay in drawing mode. Yeah, look, there's different ideas about this. You can always go to the all-time high. Let's do that for now. And you can do the closest. That's usually a bit more reliable, the closest, but with all-time high, I guess you could also do the actual all-time high. And we just do horizontal levels now, but of course we're gonna have a look if we see some usable patterns. It's really weird talking when there's probably nobody watching it, but hey, we have to start somewhere. So yeah, for now, just based on the horizontal levels. By the way, this is Nasdaq. I'll get there in a minute, but I also trade futures. I blew a couple accounts with TopStep. The link in the description. Cause yeah, I overtrade and I don't follow my own rules. But we are now doing a challenge. I basically stepped down to a smaller account, 50k account. I think that's even the smallest right now. Maybe they have a 30k. I'm not sure, but I did a 150k and twice I just was stupid. I passed the first. You have to do several rounds. In the first round, I passed it easily, even within the minimum trading days. And the second part, everything started going right, and then I just used way too many contracts and blew my account. So then I told myself, you know, let's step down on count, like 50k instead of 150k, and force myself to trade smaller, because that's where I go wrong, scaling in and taking too much risk. So right now, that's what we're doing. I don't want to focus too much on it right now. Maybe once we get some more viewers and everything, and if people are interested. Also, I try to trade it during US Open. That's around 3:30 my time. That's Amsterdam time, and around 2:30 GMT, London time. So I already traded a little bit, and I overtraded. I used like 4 or 5 contracts. I am in the green for today, but yeah, it was really bad trading. I'll upload a video of that later today, because I did a test live stream for myself. I didn't publish it. I'll also go over the charts and what I do here. Basically, in short, this is a range. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is a range chart. So every candle is a certain range. So in theory, if the whole day nothing really happens, you could literally have one candle, but that never happens. But I like it because it's a bit more reliable for, you know, things like trading ranges or trading levels. And in this case, I have VWAP and VWAP bands. We'll go over that later, but basically, if VWAP is a moving average, but not based on the number of candles, but the actual volume weighted average. in that candle compared to the whole day. So it starts every day from fresh, and these are fewer bands, and I like them a bit better if you do that with the range. But again, we'll go over that later. And then I basically try to trade ranges, and if it breaks out like here, and it breaks out cleanly, like here it's just a wick, but if it breaks out cleanly and it starts to hold this level, then I would try to, you know, trade to the next level, generally just to the next band, but depending on how bullish things are, I may keep a runner or something. And I have a chart that's more simple, just horizontal lines most of the time. Sometimes I will maybe draw a channel or anything, but mostly horizontal horizontal levels, because this is already pretty cluttered. This is Tradovate, by the way. We'll discuss that as well, but Tradovate is a free platform. I think you can start. I also have a micro account myself. I think you can start with literally $400 or $500. It's not recommended, but and then you can trade micros. That's 1/10 of a normal contract. And with Nasdaq, for example, normal contract in futures is $20. So with micros, it's $2. And yeah, if you had 10 times more, if you had like 5k, and again, I would not recommend trading the minimum, but if you had 5k, you could trade regular contracts instead of the micros. So I have a small account myself, but you know, I want to grow quicker, and trading with TopStep, again, the link is in the description. You can just earn an account. Oh, now I understand. I had the wrong one muted. You could trade. You could trade. Yeah, I had the wrong one muted. So yeah, you can find a link in the description, referral link. So would appreciate if you want to support the channel, you use the link. But don't just start trading. Either learn to trade profitably yourself first, or at the very minimum, take their 15 days free trial. You don't pay anything, also no credit card or anything. You just use the platform, and you can get used to the platform. There are multiple platforms you can use to trade. I chose Tradovate, but they have Ninja Trader. They have a couple others. You can also trade using TradingView, but with, I think most of them, if you have, for example, Tradovate, you can also still use TradingView. So I prefer to choose something else than TradingView. Then you can always do both. So yeah, we'll go over that some other time, but for now let's focus on crypto first. I'm not gonna do too long today, because I want to yeah, we have to get some viewers, obviously. So once some more viewers get in, hopefully, you know, in a couple of weeks we can build something up. The streams will be longer and more in depth. But for now, yeah, we're around the all-time high. We spotted on the 4-hourly, I think. Yeah, an inverted head and shoulders, and we drew that. Do I have that one? No. I usually use only a handful of two, only maybe 4 or 5, but sometimes I use some of the others, but only 4 or 5 I tend to use. But so I don't even know always where patterns. I think should be here somewhere. Head and shoulders, right? I don't really like it. It does some weird stuff, but the inverted head and shoulders, I think we were here when we spotted it, and then it went down and it went up. You see, it does this weird line here. That's the neckline basically, but you cannot remove it. And this is weird. It colors these two, but not this. So it's a bit annoying. So yeah, we spotted that one, and it did go up, and it also broke this level, but not very confidently. Basically, in my opinion, but again, not investment advice, I think if this holds, we are going to really break it and go to the all-time highs and maybe above it. But yeah, if that doesn't happen, we could see a channel here. I'm not even sure if it goes as far. And I don't think it's probably not parallel, but let's see. Well, sort of. Yeah, so for now let's see if we stay in this. But yeah, I'm looking for it to range a bit here and then show some strong action. Ideally an engulfing candle, you know, like you had here. Well, these were pretty much the whole move in one candle, but you could go on a lower time frame, hourly or so. At some point we want to see a bit of a real reaction, ideally here. Of course it could go here as well. I mean, it could go everywhere, but in a bullish scenario, I mean, it could still, this could still be a bullish scenario. Not for futures trading, obviously. It probably gets wrecked here. But yeah, if you're spot trading or very low leverage, I mean, what is this? Couple percent, yeah, 2, 3, 4%. So if you're only doing 4, 5x leverage, that's 20% on a position. That's nothing. That's doable, right? If you don't have crazy large positions. So this would still not be invalidated for a bullish scenario. I haven't drawn the line here because I want to keep it a little bit broad and clean somewhat, but we can make a couple different layouts. I have a couple ones, but some of them I'm using, so I'll have to look through them and see if I have one that I'm not using very much, and basically delete it, and we can use that to make maybe a bit more in-depth TAs when we see something that we like. So for now, just yeah, we're bullish, but we haven't really broken this level. What is it even? 63 something, 63 300, and we could see a retracement here. Hey, we don't even have Bitcoin dominance on this. Huh? Anyways, where's Bitcoin dominance? Oh wait, you have to write it out, I think. Okay, never mind. We have that on some other chart or some on this watch list, but why can I not find? I think it's just this one, right? Yeah. Let's for now just do it here. Anyways, this could mean that the alts are pumping, are gonna pump. Some of them already did, of course. But we have kind of a level here. So just overall, I would be a bit careful, but to be fair, I'm not. First of all, I'm a noob trader, just like most of us. Second, I'm not trading, mostly not doing long swing trades, at least not when there is when things are unsure. You know, when we have nice moves like this, and it, then I'll go from one level to another, or maybe have some price level in mind, or look for breakouts and stuff like here, and then we might be in a swing trade for a couple of days, maybe even longer. But most of the time I either day trade or I swing trade for a couple 4-hour candles, sometimes 2 or 3 days. Well, XRP did quite a recovery. Kind of mixed feelings. I also need yeah, right now I'm on a ultra wide monitor, so also let me know if you prefer a crop. I don't see the comments either. There are no comments. Well, one. So yeah, also let me know if you don't like ultra wide. I personally like it because yeah, you can just have a lot of charts on one monitor. Plus the computer I'm doing this right now, yeah, the computer isn't very powerful, so I wouldn't really do 2 monitors at this point, and I kind of need it for streaming, right? Because you want to see the comments and you want to see whatever you're switching to on another monitor. So I will have another monitor later on, but on this computer right now I prefer one ultra wide monitor over having multiple monitors. But yeah, I can always crop it, so if you prefer 69 aspect ratio, we can do it. But yeah, let me know. For now I have ultra wide, so you could basically have, this is roughly like full HD, so you could have what you normally have on one monitor. You can have that here, plus an extra chart or some other program, Twitter or whatever, in this case Telegram. So yeah, you could have that on the side, you know. But yeah, XRP, I would stay away from that right now as well. Or if anything, maybe short it, but I don't see a short either. I mean, you either already had a short, you know, around here. You know, I think that could have been a nice one on a smaller time frame, 1 hour or so. Yeah, that would have been a pretty nice one. But yeah, on a bullish move and after a break like this, I don't really like to short unless again you have a pretty wide stop loss above this level and you're swing trading more. You're looking for maybe a move, couple of tests, and then it breaks and then it comes back, and then maybe, and you're willing to sit it out, then maybe you could short it here. But you could be in this for days, a week before that happens, if it happens, and you could have this sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of doing anything here. Oh, and post any, not only comments, I don't think anybody is even watching right now, but post when we have some more viewers. You can post your charts here, right? So if you have a trading view chart, where's the share? But yeah, you can click on the share. Oh, that's publish. I think it's this one actually. Take snapshot, and you can share that. Let us know what you're thinking, or ask the chat what they are thinking. That's kind of the idea, you know. And some of them on the longer stream, I will also put some of them that we all think are good trades. I will put them in the Telegram group as well. But yeah, so XRP, not for me, and that rhymes. So yeah, it looks a bit the same on a different time frame though. Again, I'm not gonna do very in-depth TA at this point. Maybe I'll do it, some of these off screen, off stream really. Yeah, I mean, we just broke out of this triangle. I kind of want to wait this, maybe a triangle. I kind of want to wait with moves like this. If you guys, by the way, want some other interesting channels, I'll post them as well. But One of them that I like to watch is Buy by Money, and one of them is Trades by Matt. He also does TopStep future stuff, and Al Brooks. But I don't think what I don't like is he doesn't really live trade, but I think he has a paid subscription, so that's maybe one of the reasons why he doesn't live trade. Oh, we may actually, by the way, do some trading if we see something right now. Nasdaq is trying to break out here. This is the countdown. I don't know if you can see it. If it's sharp enough, you may have to put it on full screen. But this is the timer. We're now on the 5-minute chart, so it's almost closed, this candle. If it closes without much of a wick, then we could maybe see a retracement and then more action. If it does wick, then we probably just go down yet again. But I think it's a bit, yeah, we could still this is a little bit of a strange inverted hand and shoulder. Well, there we go already. We'll also go over what every line and thing that I put on the chart mean. It may look a bit cluttered because I have I'm quite zoomed out and I have 3 charts, but it's not a lot. This is like volume profile, and well, we'll go over it some other day. But this, for example, the green line, and there should be a red one. That's just the top of the value area, and the value area is in my case the brighter white, the brighter gray. Here it's a bit darker gray, and here you have the darker gray, and here's blue. That's basically the same as the white. I just made it a different color, and that's where most of the volume that day was. And usually it either reverses there at the edges, so at the volume area low and the high, it either reverses, and you see that quite a lot of times, sometimes with massive wicks. So it's not usually not a good idea to just blindly short it, or it breaks out like you saw here, massive breakout. That was this one. But even this ended up in a wick, even on a 5-minute chart. So that's another thing. If you're going to do TopStep or any other futures, or in general, just you're going to trade indices, they are crazy. It's one of the reasons why I like it, but it's also one of the reasons why people just constantly get wrecked, including me, when I completely unnecessarily, blew my previous account with TopStep. So yeah, don't just dive in. First learn it on demo, then trade their demo account for I think 15 days. You have it, and just see it as both learning money that you're gonna spend, because you have to pay like a monthly subscription, and don't try to finish it as soon as possible, because that's another reason why I blew it. Because every time that I was allowed to trade with more contracts, because in the beginning, when you haven't made any profit, you're not allowed to trade the maximum amount of contracts for that account. So the previous account where I had 150k, you're allowed 15 contracts, but you start off with maybe 3 or 4, and then every time you make a certain amount of money, you can trade larger contracts. And I basically immediately scaled up the moment that I was allowed more contracts, and that's when I wrecked my account completely unnecessarily, because I think I was like 3 or 4k in profit in the second stage. So it was really stupid. So now I stepped down to a 50k account, and I still overtraded today. I should like maybe trade one, and in very rare occasions when it does one of these, maybe you shorted it, you saw it going down here, maybe you shorted it, but then it did one more move. You could like wait till it's clearly still a wick, and it goes down, and you see that it's rejecting here. then you could add on another contract, so maybe 2 contracts. But I was trading with 3, 4, even 5 contracts, so that was not good. I ended up profitable, but I didn't trade really my own rules, and that's another thing. Just make sure you always trade your own rules. Right now it's a bit too slow for me. Like, there are some good moves, but it's bouncing around too much. That's why I prefer with indices and most things stock market related to trade it around New York or Chicago Open, which is like 2:30 or 3:30 GMT time. After it, you could still trade, because then they have lunch, and then maybe around New York 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock maybe. So that's maybe 6, 7 o'clock. So about now it should start to pick up yet again. You can see the volume here, you know, how much and how quickly it went down, but it should start to pick up a little bit after lunch, and maybe even later in the evening. But yeah, now it's not really doing much, so I don't think I'm gonna. I can just for shits and giggles do one trade, and also show you what the benefit is, in my opinion, to trade on platforms like Ninja Trader, or in this case Tradovate, because they have brackets, and that's basically your stop loss and profit target. And you can do that with you know, on the typical crypto platforms and stuff, but usually you have one setting, right? And then if you want to change it, you have to manually change it. Here you can save, I don't know how many. I should actually delete a couple and create a couple new ones, because it depends on how rough the market is and how much volatility. You may want to change it, but then you can save it as a template. So if you see the market is very slow, maybe you choose a template with a small, you know, stop loss and a larger profit target, just a day trade maybe, you know, where you go in and you let it go for an hour or so. And when the market is really crazy, like around New York or Chicago Open, maybe you want a larger stop loss, right? Because otherwise you immediately get wicked out. So you choose one of your others. Plus you have the option, I have here for example runner, you have the option to have automated break-evens. So if the price moves a certain amount, it's in ticks, and it goes 4 ticks, make up 1 point. But again, we'll go over that some other day. But you can put it in ticks or in price. I think value is the same, but most cases. But I would recommend ticks or price. And you can say, like, for example, if it's 2 points in profit, then maybe you want to move your stop loss to break even. So auto break even on or off. And you can set the profit target, and you can set an offset as well. So you could not just put it to break even, but you could put it in profit to cover the fees, or just to actually have profit. So I like that kind of stuff. Now I see it a bit wicky. It can still, but I'm gonna go in here.
Order filled.
And as you see, it automatically plays my stop loss and my profit target here. I'm not gonna really trade this. Certainly not with this move. This actually very likely could still break up. There's not enough confirmation, so I'm not gonna stay in this trade. But you can see, you know, what the benefit could be. And this is just the price ladder. It looks a bit different than on crypto platforms, but you've seen something similar. And this is for the Nasdaq. The ES, which is the S&P, is much bigger volume, so you see larger numbers, couple hundred contracts. And during busier times like New York Open, you see in the thousands sometimes. And these are huge contract sizes. If you didn't have leverage, you would need like 10k or so, or 15k to have one contract. So these are highly leveraged. And the blue line is the break-even point, by the way. And this is your running profit or loss, and this is your realized for that day. But yeah, I don't like it enough, so I'm gonna put this one here above the wick, and if it doesn't move enough, I'm just gonna cancel. Here you can do exit. It just cancels everything, but you'll take whatever profit or loss you have at that point. But since we have, you know, enough today, I don't mind if this ends up a loss. But I'm fairly sure that if this candle closes not bullish, anything in between, but ideally below this blue line, right below this, I'm pretty sure we'll go at least here and possibly maybe this level here. But so far we've gone quite a bit up, you know, after a massive dump earlier. So that's why I'm not so confident that we would get this move. So this would just be a very small trade. You see, we only have 15 bucks, and it's 20 bucks per point. So it's we're even less than a point in profit. Now a little bit more. Now it starts to move. And I do have a break even. Maybe you can even see it here. Oh no, but this one takes quite a lot. Profit trigger before it goes to break even is 40 ticks, and we said it's like 4 ticks in 1 point, so that's 10 points. So I will close it way earlier than that. So I don't think we're gonna see this. See, this is a bit weird. You cannot see much of. It's basically creating a wedge, right? A triangle on this minuscule. So I really don't like that. Now it's starting to move. It's a bit better. So 50 point. See why you don't really need to trade a lot of contracts. It's one contract, and if it hits probably around 100 bucks, but I think I'm gonna close it out because I don't like the price action. Probably about 100 bucks for this small move. And I would recommend 5 point to scalp on the Nasdaq as a starting point, right? I mean, when you're in a good move and it's not this ugly crazy price action, but let's say after it broke out here and you got in at this point, right, then you want to go at least here. What is this? 79, this is 85. That's already 15 points, so that's already a lot better, right? And if you stayed in, would be more, would be 30, 40 points or so. But at least as a starting point to have a high win rate, I would say, like, see, there it goes. But I didn't really like the price action too much. But this would have been 120, 150 bucks or so with just one contract. So there's no need to do crazy stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to be more disciplined now. So, but yeah, I think I'm done trading for today because most of the good price action already happened during early times. Also before New York Open, by the way, just London Open here, 8-9 o'clock. See, that's decent as well, and not this extremely crazy that goes up and down. Like here you see a level that I had drawn that pretty much stayed. It wicked a bit below it, but it pretty much respected it. and you also have VWAP here. So once you see that it stays there, especially once it starts to bounce off of a VWAP and stays above this level, you can get in here, and stop loss, a generous one could be below here, but you could have a tighter one here as well, and then just, you know, ride it out. Maybe have two contracts, and one you take profits earlier here or something, or whatever fixed target you have set here in the brackets, and the other one you just let it ride out. You move your stop loss to break even, and you would have made, you know, sick amounts of gains, 40 points or so, 60 here. Oh, not 40, 960, 980, and here 990, 20-30 points. That's still pretty insane. Look. So we definitely got that first move, and it's even moving. See, that's why you don't always need lots of crazy patterns and stuff. Sometimes I draw in trend lines, and that can be helpful. Here I'm not even logged in, or I wasn't logged in. Yeah, this one isn't even. This is not really parallel channel. This is more. It's more like a ray. Or I mean, this is more like how do you call it? A wedge or something. You know, once you start to see this, and it's not really rejecting. Here it was rejecting, right? And there you could have had a nice trade as well down. But when it's not really rejecting anymore and it breaks out, you know, that's a relatively safe and relatively small stop loss. You know, it's hard to determine where exactly. You want it maybe somewhere inside this, how do you call it, a megaphone, you know, maybe somewhere here. There are smaller levels on a smaller time frame, but maybe put the stop loss somewhere here, and after this candle closed you could have put it underneath this candle, and then after each candle formed you could have traced your stop loss, you know, a bit higher. But that's, you know, relatively, it doesn't always work, but relatively safe. Once it breaks out of this channel with a strong move like this, there's a good chance that from here on it will go to the volume area high, you know, which is the level that we had here. I should have a volume profile on this one as well, that may be helpful. But yeah, but anyways, I think I'm gonna just go briefly over a couple more cryptos, but yeah, probably close the, what's now, almost an hour. So yeah, I'm probably gonna close after an hour, and if we build up a bit of more viewers every day, hopefully, also just share this the stream and stuff, then yeah, then I know that you guys enjoy it, and we can discuss more things, and I can have the stream last a bit longer, you know. But for now, at least check in every day, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock probably if you're in London. Alice, the major zones I like to use, well, zones, you know, like a rectangle, and a slightly less larger ones I like to use array. We have a lot of zones here. Don't really want to do them all. This is also a major one, so we could draw a zone here as well. And this is a fairly major one. Yeah, you could draw this one as well. I'm not. Initially, I always prefer fewer zones. You can always have more on a smaller time frame. I mean, if you're day trading, you know, you can go on a 5-minute, 50-minute, you know, and maybe there you want more zones. But I think it's better to try to find trades that are from major zones, so you don't need every level, which can only confuse. I'm not a huge fan of, there is sort of probably a channel here and it broke out, but again, I don't know. I'm just not a terrible but maybe if some people start to share their trades, we can have a look at them, and we look at them regardless of what my opinion is, and then we can just check in a couple hours or a couple days later and see what things are working more. Do I not have a purple usually? I don't know. So yeah, it's still wiki, so this could still go down, and of course so far we haven't taken out a swing highs. I guess here one, if this breaks, it's not really a major one, but if this closes strongly instead of all these wicks, then we could maybe see a move back. But again, since everything is possibly retracing because Big Daddy is retracing, yeah, I'm just not a huge fan at this point of many markets. This one isn't immediately a strong close either. I wouldn't immediately short this, but yeah, no, I think this could very well be a fake out. See, it just bounced off of this level. But the thing is, usually you trade off information for either profitability or risk reward. So if you go on less information, like on this level, you just short it. Sometimes you'll get moves like this and you have massive gains and relatively small stop loss, right? You could just place it here. I think you should just mostly ignore this one. And you have nice moves sometimes, you know. Other times, if you were to blindly do this, you get these. So it also depends on how well you're managing it, because it could be a trading strategy that I personally don't like, but that's still profitable if you manage it correctly. If you take these, and then when it just goes up, you just take this tiny profit from here to here, and then you close your trade, and then when this one goes, you scale in, but then you think, okay, here, no, we break into high, and you take your loss. Of course, then you're a losing trader, right? So, or even if you stayed in, but still we're waiting for the big move down, and you still didn't get it, and then you get completely wrecked. So it's all about management as well. It's not only fundamentals and technicals. I think it's almost more about trading management. almost every strategy, almost any strategy, I think, can be profitable if you just stick to a very strict and consistent trading management. But yeah, this is a weird one. Cardano. Oh, let's do the daily or the weekly. Okay, let's just okay. This could be a massive dip buy, but yeah, it depends a bit what's happening. I'm not following the fundamentals very much, so it's a bit slow. Wow, Nasdaq is really dumping. Same with this one. If you had this stop loss here, you know, and you wanted to trade it, I just didn't like it enough to trade it. But if I did like it, I would have kept at least one contract, you know, for this level, right? And maybe a runner like you see now. It even goes further, because if you don't, whoa, look wait, is there some FOMC statement or something right now? I'm not gonna look for now, but always check things like the forex calendar. Look at this, what an insanity. This is also why you want to have fixed stop losses and profit target. You sometimes want to move them if you know, already have a good strategy and a good discipline, and I don't even have that enough, in my opinion. So initially you don't want to move them, but once you're confident, you can move them. But at least you need to have them, because you can see this. What an insanity! Crazy. I think yeah, there definitely some statement, maybe from Biden or something, but I haven't checked the FOMC, or not FOMC, just the economic calendar. And I need to check my I have so many bookmarks. I need to and yeah, I don't really want to look now, because I don't really want to trade at this point. I have multiple forex calendars and economic calendars, but yeah, I need to arrange that a little bit better, because I just have too many. But yeah, always check something, like, even if it's one or two sides. You know, I'm personally almost entirely technical analysis. I do almost nothing with fundamentals, only for very, very, very rough bias, Whoa, what is this? Oh, that's my channel. Only for very rough buys. See what an absolute insanity. Look at this. 70 points. 70 points. No, it's more actually, and it all happened in 5 minutes or so, maybe even in 1 minute. Jesus, literally in 1 or 2 minutes, it moved. Oh, yeah, 70 points. That's insane. But yeah, crazy. So let's yeah, ADA. This could be a good buy if you're overall, and this would maybe require a bit more fundamental analysis. If you're overall bullish, this is all sloppy. I'm not even sure if this is a good channel, but yeah, if you're overall bullish, this could be a good buy. Otherwise, you may want to wait either till it goes to this channel, to this bottom, and maybe here is a safer one. And I don't really do a lot with waves, plus it's extremely messy, and everybody counts waves differently, especially when it's so messy. But this is not a great retracement, but it probably is a 50% retracement. Where is my retracement? Let's see what we have. Yeah, I mean, almost perfectly. A 50 and between the 618 even. So it's definitely as a first entry, or just maybe you don't take a second entry, you just have a tight stop loss. Because if this is a good entry, it may still go up and then comes down maybe one more time, right? Do another, inverse head and shoulders, a bit like this before it goes up. And it may just do this in one move. So yeah, ADA could be a nice buy. Based on fundamentals though. Technicals don't look that great, but yeah. I'm not sure if I like the dotted lines that I have here, but this is why people trade crypto. It's also insane. Jesus, Nasdaq just continues, man. Over 16. This is how much higher than the all-time high? Wow, we're at 15,700 or so. Six not something. 300 points in the last couple of days or so. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 or 5 days or something. It's absolutely insane. And this one is also insane. Sand. Yeah, but these are the ones where you want to take those. That could be somewhat risky, but they have very good risk reward, right? Like once this broke out and it just respected this level, it could have just still sink in, or it could have gone to this level and then go back up. But if you just took this one and only had stop loss here, or even tighter here, you have massive risk rewards, and sometimes you get stopped out here, and you can even get stopped out more often than that you're successful and still be profitable, right? Because the risk reward is so high. So yeah, we may have to watch some of these a lot more closer. I'm not sure these are. I also don't like too large of zones, but I don't know. Should we do snap? I usually don't. Is there any chat, by the way? No, not yet. But yeah, this is insane. Maybe we need to zoom in a bit. But yeah, 3 touches. Some people are buying here, and well, this one more level. This is actually an important one. I don't like this snap. But even then, if you're gonna trade this, I would be really careful. This could be another move, basically like all of these moves so far, right? All of these were once they broke sort of the cup and handle, right? Every time that happens, it went up quite a bit, except these 2 times. So this is already why you may have to be a bit more careful. But just always have a plan and have an understanding of your risk to reward, because then you basically always know what to do then, even though there's sometimes multiple options. But if that's within your plan, that's fine. But if it's a problem when you have multiple options and you start to do things that are outside of your plan and that don't work statistically. They may work that particular time, or they fail, and maybe you hop on a different strategy or different signal servers or whatever. But you just need to know what the probability is of your trading setups, and then you know when to take profit, at least, right? The first targets. You can always have runners and stuff like that, but then you know what profits and what stop losses you need. Yeah, this is a pretty important level. So DOGE, same thing, a bit like similar to ADA. Could be a massive, even if this one doesn't work, and this can really tank if this one fails. But we have a couple more areas, and seriously, once this breaks, it's still a little bit messy, right? So we could still have big retracements, but we have a massive move up, then massive potential. This would like maybe be your first large target. You could have intraday targets maybe, and depending on how large your leverage is. Again, I don't want to draw too many levels, but for now, something like this. Then this is why I also just like going from zone to zone and trading fixed setups like breakouts, because you immediately see when it's gonna fail. Okay, too bad, you have to take the loss. Sometimes you can reliably scale in, but maybe stay away from that till you have some better statistics on your own strategy. And then yeah, when it works, you just know what your profit targets are and where your next level is, even though the price in between can be pretty messy. And that's where you get chopped up, and why often day trading is so difficult, because yeah, you see what a complete mess, But when you trade from zone to zone, and or you trade reliable methods that you've tested, whether it's channels or wedges or this guy's regular breakouts that sometimes are also a wedge, like this last one. Now it also had a fake out, kinda like this was basically a wedge, sort of a wedge. I guess this was a fake out, but it didn't really close bullish, right? It closed with a wick a bit, and it isn't. In the first one, didn't even close above it. But once you did get that, then this level, you know, was basically a good retest. You know, break, retest, or if you really like, you know, to take them on the breakout, then you had a break of this level and you had the break of this triangle. So I like those type of trades where you have that type of confluence, you know, multiple breaks. But yeah, same as ADA, DOGE could be a massive one if the market doesn't completely tank. If we get a bit of I don't know, Bitcoin is still really high. Some would say that it needs a retracement, but I don't think it needs it like that you can say that it needs it. I think you can say normally, yes, it would need a retracement, a bigger one like here or all the way here. But yeah, as we know, in general in the markets, but especially crypto, all rules got broken. So this could just range a bit, test some of these levels, maybe shake some people out, and then pump again. But I just wouldn't assume anything really, unless you have more information. Here we have a nice wick. Depends how it closes. Here, for example, you had a nice wick, but it wasn't really a strong close, right? Even close below it, and right after it we immediately got wicks on this side, so it immediately tanked. So if you got in here, you probably get wrecked. So either take a small stop loss somewhere here, and if that would have worked, you would have got a nice move. In this case, you would have gotten stopped out, but at least not completely wrecked if you try to scale in and stuff. But yeah, this can look strong, but it still depends on what happens right after it, if it's really a strong move, especially in this case around this level. But yeah, if you like it, you could still just have a tight stop loss, or if you trade spot, you could just, you know, scale in, average dollar cost average in. Nasdaq already completely reversed the whole move. So that was definitely news. We may have to look at that later. That was definitely news. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna close this for now. I'm gonna check back in tomorrow. Maybe after the stream I'll do a little bit TA myself. Bake also on the break, kind of like DOGE and stuff, but you wanted to go beyond that zone, and then depending on how you trade, if you take them immediately and then maybe scalp it, you could immediately get some profits out of it, and even cover your stop loss with those profits, right? If you scale in and scale out. So if you scale out of part of your position when it reaches this here maybe, but then leave a runner and then have a stop loss here. If it fails, this profit that you made here probably made up for your stop loss, right? Maybe here is already a level where, yeah, we might see something here happening. So maybe you like to trade the actual breakouts and get some profits here, then leave a runner, or just completely close it, but look for a re-entry when it reacts on this level. Or if you prefer retest, but you can see those can also fail. But then again, this was with massive wicks again. If this had just closed here and not this massive wick, there would have been a good chance that this would have gone up and up, come back, and then really retested nicely and then continue. But again, if you prefer retest, you can just, you know, let it break, retest, maybe even this level here, you know, have a dip buy zone. Then we have green box, just green. I think this one, you know, dip buy here maybe, and then write it out. But yeah, we may have to look at that later. But I think I'm gonna cut the stream from this point on. Cake and bake. Funny enough, they look very similar. Well, now bake is much weaker, but still it's interesting. The moves are often quite similar. But yeah. Oh, Luna. Is this a parallel channel or no? Let's not force it. Maybe. Oh wait, what is this? Sometimes I need to. I thought I had this. Oh, I haven't even saved array. No, I haven't. Weird. Yeah, these can be tricky. Now I think it is a parallel channel, but it's also yeah, that's a bit weird one. It's also a wedge like this. Well, anyways, we're gonna have a look at some of the others, and these are just the ones that I look the most at, and sometimes I shuffle them around, and if I'm in an active trade with some of them, but yeah, I have other lists, but I don't really like to watch too many markets. But if people have ideas, just you know, use the chat and Telegram as well, of course. So yeah, for now I'm gonna have a look at the stream and see what went well and what should we change, and also let me know on Telegram what you thought and suggestions, and also stuff on aspect ratio if you like 16:9 or 21:9. But yeah, that's it for now. Catch you later. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I really need a second monitor, but